Last time I'd said this would be a two-part. So this is Tex with Tex Talks, and I'm giving you a second part to catch you up just in case you didn't see it. The question last week that I'd been asked was, how do I help other people help me? In other words, if I have any kind of mental health problem, how do I work with the people that are close to me that I know so that they can in turn help me? What do I need to tell them? What do I need to do? The first part of that is I explain that you need to get together, pull your thoughts, and realize first, what is it you really want and need, and how will that help you? What are the problems you're dealing with? Sometimes that seems obvious, but then again, when I actually ask people, well, what do you need? And it's almost like couples therapy. You'll hear, well, they should just know. No, they don't. Or, well, everyone knows. No, they don't. The whole point is you being able to figure out what you want, what you need in order to help you feel okay, comfortable, to socially engage with people, to reduce your stress levels, to help you when you're feeling sad and down, when you're having a stress reaction, all those things. Now, assuming that you've done that part of the homework and you've got it figured out, the next part is, how do you relay that to somebody in a way that's constructive? What do I mean? If you tell somebody to do something and you're very blunt, it is possible that they take that as they're doing wrong and then they have to defend themselves. In other words, if you have a problem with anxiety when things get too loud, think about how you ask someone to quieten things down. If you say, you're too loud, y'all make too much noise, you're upsetting me, those tend to start an argument. The other person will feel offended maybe, or they'll feel like you're attacking them. Now, on the flip side, if you're engaging in a conversation, this is why I'm making sure that you take the time to engage in a conversation in which you explain to the other person, if you would like to help me, and you do this nicely, not smart aleckly, if you'd like to help me, or these are things that would help me, or if the person comes to you and says, what can I do to help? Explaining to them, not by telling them what they did wrong, and not by ordering them around, but by actually saying, when I hear really loud noises, those things tend to affect me in a way that may be different. You can shorten the words down and say, when I hear loud noises, I tend to get agitated or scared or upset. Those things let the other person know that that bothers you. Some people need an extra little coax, and you go, and you actually, go to them and say, is there a way that if you're getting noisy, I can talk to you that won't be offensive to help you quieten down, because that's something I need. Or if it's something else you need, like if people go in and touch your things, move stuff around, maybe you have roommates, or maybe you have a partner and you're very arranged with your stuff, and people just come in and don't think about it and throw something on the counter and move your stuff. Maybe you have a partner that comes into the room and they throw their clothes on the floor or something like that, and those things really bother you. Then just like in any other relationship, being able to say to the person, I try to keep things neat. It makes me feel comfortable when they're neat. And when clothes are on the floor like that, it kind of affects me. I have this thing about neat and orderly. Notice how I said that without saying, you throw your clothes on the floor and you need to not do that. You see that shift. It's about communicating. And I know it's tough, because a lot of people who do have problems want to speak very bluntly. And I've been asked, well, what's wrong with me being blunt? They won't say it in that way. They'll say, what's wrong with me just telling them what's wrong? If you want someone to cooperate with you, you're going to have to find a way to communicate things that doesn't seem to be argumentative or fight-provoking, even if it wasn't meant to be. This is where you have to think about how you're saying. You may even come to that person and say, how can I talk and explain to you what upsets me, and ask you to give things that in a way that doesn't seem demanding, or doesn't seem like I'm being argumentative, or doesn't seem like I'm trying to pick a fight. This is especially difficult if this is something that y'all have argued about before, like screaming, yelling, loud noises, all those things. Communication techniques are very important. In other words, being assertive, but doing it in such a way as to try to get cooperation from the other person. In other words, you can simply come up and tell people, when I hear loud noises, I get very agitated. So please, don't be banging pots at 2 a.m. If you have to cook, I understand. You're hungry. Please don't bang the pots. Please don't stomp. Please don't slam the doors. Please don't slam the cabinets. Notice how you're giving a request and direction without saying, you slam the cabinet doors, you do this, you make noise, you slam doors. Again, I'm trying to get you out of this confrontation mode and into a communication style that will allow you and the other person to be able to share space together. And if the person really does want to help you, they are your friend, then having that conversation is important. Now, just in case you're the person that's on the other end of this and you're the receiving end of this, I ask you to please think for a second. The person has gotten the courage to tell you what's upsetting them, what bothers them, asking for your assistance, for your help. Please take the time to listen to them. Please work so that it isn't personal. If the person is especially taking the time to explain to you that this upsets them, this bothers them, that's a big step for that person. If you want the communication to continue, then telling that person, thank you for sharing with me. I do want to know how to help you. It's important for me to know that this bothers you, and I will now work on this. Notice how I said that. I will work on this. It might be easy to just shut a person down and say, okay, I'll quit slamming the door. And if you're really going to quit slamming the door, awesome. If you're like many people, you will work to slam the door only occasionally. Now, notice how I put that, because you're still going to slam the door. Hopefully, you can stop it altogether. Sometimes you forget. I understand that. Keep working on it. And maybe it'll get to a point where you don't slam the door. But I'm a guy. I can tell you, I try to be very quiet at night if I have to go to the bathroom. But you know what? There are times when I'm putting the lid down and I forget, or it slips out of my hand, honestly, and bam, it wasn't intentional. Or I'm in a hurry in the mornings and I meant to close the door softly and it didn't close all the way and it opens back up and I grabbed the door real quick and then I end up making a slamming noise. Accidents happen. See, notice that this is an effort with everybody. So hopefully this helps you to start to communicate. And there are more videos, mine and others, about assertive communications, stating what it is you would like, stating it in such a way that's not argumentative, that's to the point, and that's calm, so that all parties can become part of the conversation. It's being able to share in such a way as to get what you want without shaming, blaming, arguing, screaming. And again, on both sides, this includes being able to just, acknowledge what was said, being able to, voice. And if you have a part that you need to voice, like you're saying, I am working on reducing or stopping or not slamming doors or, not walking so hard on the floor or not, raising my voice so loud, and you're really doing that, then that's all that has to be said. Be careful to not tag in passive-aggressive get-yous. What do I mean? On either side of the conversation, it's very easy to put in, go, well, I have been lowering my voice. From now on, I guess I'll just keep my opinion to myself and won't say nothing at all. Notice how it started good and it went south real quick. Or being able, saying, like, well, I thought I had been slamming the doors less. I guess it's not good enough. Notice again, passive aggressive pop at the end. It's easy to do those when you're upset. That's why thinking about what you're saying, slowing down the conversation is very important on both sides. This is a team effort. When you ask, how can I tell people how to help me? This is a conversation. If the person really is someone who wants to help you and you want to get help from them, then being able to honestly express your needs and that person being able to listen and work, that's what makes y'all friends. That's what helps you get along. There will be people who don't want to do that. There will be people that no matter how you say it, they're going to argue with you. They're going to tell you they can't. They're going to be offended. And you know what? That's a tough one. It's going to happen. And when it does, you realize that the question you asked doesn't quite apply. You said, how do I tell my friends? You might want to evaluate that. Maybe this person is more of an acquaintance and not a friend. That's another video about where you place people in your life. But we do probably need to talk about who's who in your life and what you value and who you think are your friends and they're only your acquaintances, or who you think are acquaintances and they're not even that. So again, another conversation for another time. I hope this helps. If you need more and you need more clarification on any of this, please do not be afraid. Ask me and I will do my best to explain and give as many details as I can. I just don't want to appear to be too long-winded. Hope you have an awesome day, and I hope you have a beautiful Sunday.